This video is sponsored by tomtoc. More on them later.
All right, finally, it's that time, Blade, Texas 2024. And let's see if we can get some good shots, maybe pick up some items. But first, coffee.
3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dollar to $1 million. I don't like to brag.
So this is Black Rock Coffee, a boutique family-owned coffee bar, which is super particular about their coffee beans, which is one of my favorite things about them, but also makes a fantastic espresso Americano. And although they have over 100 locations in multiple states, it's still family-owned by 3 different families that come from coffee and construction, which are probably 2 of the best things here in America. I mean, what's more American than coffee and construction? All their small stands that are, you know, kind of franchise are all mostly owned by former baristas of the actual coffee shop itself. All the correct vibes, fantastic place to kind of just chill out and get yourself a easy cup of Joe. So you may ask yourself, what is Blade Show, specifically Blade Show Texas? Well, it's a celebration of cowboy culture, custom knife makers, production knife makers, and EDC gear enthusiasts all in one convention center, specifically the Fort Worth Convention Center. It's a 2-day event. This year happens to be February 23rd and 24th. All the right vibes. If you're trying to go in there and find yourself a nice, maybe production knife, maybe a custom knife, some EDC gear, or you want to get a nice cowboy hat, that's the place to go. Now, this will be my 2nd consecutive year going, and I got a pretty good deal last year. I'm trying to see if I can snag a good deal this year. My advice, if you go to Blade, Texas, Atlanta, or Blade West, don't bring sand to the beach. In other words, I have a multi-tool with me, but I don't have a knife with me. I intend to buy a knife at Blade Show. It's not like a hard and fast rule, but it is kind of something that we follow whenever we are thinking about buying something at Blade. So let me bang out an Americano. This should get me going for the rest of the day. And a great companion to bring with me for Blade Show is going to be the tomtoc Voyage T50. Now, this bag is a 20-liter, basically it's a 3-in-1 storage design altogether, which I'm a huge fan of so far for everyday carry essentials. That doesn't look too tactical. It looks pretty muted, and it's great for 1 or 2 day excursions. So I love the grab handles on it. We'll talk more about this overall, but this has everything that I'm gonna need for 1 day, all packed into one.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no error.
Blade Show Texas, and if you want to see micro brands, if you want to see EDC gear, this is where you go to find that type of stuff. And I'm super excited to check out the features here with Michael in Terrain 365. Can you tell me more about?
So the whole concept for our company is my partner's a really big outdoorsy kind of person. Does scuba diving, backpacking, all that outdoor stuff. He does it all. And we were talking in 2017 about, I introduced him to dendritic cobalt at the time. And he goes, and it won't rust, it's non-magnetic. He goes, we need to do something with this to reach out to the people that go outdoors, and they're always worried about their knives rusting or whatever. So we developed, the first knife we developed was our fixed blade as like a dive knife. From there, we went to our folders. And what's neat about the dive knife or the folder is they're all non-magnetic and they're rust-proof. You can't hurt these with the elements.
So literally a dive knife, like I can take it.
You can take it, you can put it in the ocean and leave it there for a year, come back, pick it up, rinse it off, and it's ready to roll. Same way with our folders. You go camping, you're doing whatever you're doing, it's time to go to bed, you forget your knife, you left it outside, it rains that night, you go, oh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You find your knife, you pick it up, you rinse it off, and it's ready to roll.
Wow.
Okay, it will outcut anything in the show right now. But You can't chop with it. You can't pry with it.
Yeah, it's not me for personally, unless I got a full tang in my pocket. That's not my goal.
Right. This is a cutting instrument, and that's how we sell it, and that's what we. And I'm telling you, I've had people that have bought these knives in 2020, 2021, show up at a show. I go, hey, how you doing? I bought that knife there last year. I carry it every day, and I haven't sharpened it yet.
Still on a hunt for micro brands versus folks that are just always doing large production, meaningless stock. And that's one of my favorite parts of going to any blade show, but specifically Blade Texas, which is the best because we got cowboy crap. Here with Devo Knives, and they're kind of getting Grandpa excited. I like the lineup. You guys have mentioned them before. I see they have Data Crew stuff here, Char Geek stuff here. I have Colin here. Colin, first off, tell me kind of like when Devo started, and basically what's your the blade shape you like the most, but what is your best seller here?
We had one kind of big belly knife, the Growler, that we just sold the last one of, so all of these are kind of modified, sheep's foot, Warncliffe, these sort of things. The Mash is super popular, good price point. The Growler, which was right next to it, which we just sold out of, that was, you know, we sold out of it. It was $100, so that was that's always a popular one, you know. But yeah, we like this sort of like 100 to 175 price point. Awesome size. It's kind of that 3.25 inch blade that, like, you know, seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of people. This is the carbon fiber version, super light. It's like 2.5 ounces. Full carbon fiber on this side, no liner, so it's really, really light.
Still on the hunt for micro brands that are pumping out quality, mostly handmade, some batch or production, but staying away from the big boys. And that brings me to a manufacturer that you guys keep creaming about, Auxiliary Manufacturing, and overall coming in with Michael. Now, these are some knives that you keep telling me about to check out. I finally wrangled them down. Tell me about your most popular selling knife.
Right away, of course, we got to talk about the Pocket Bowies. I got nothing more popular than the Pocket Bowie at the moment. Brand new, but easily surpassed a lot of my stuff into being close to my best sellers. You know, you can't beat the standard with the textured black G10, but also I love a good wrap, working on bringing out more colors, more handle materials, more options. If you guys got things you want to see, let me know, and we will make it happen. AEBL has some of the best toughness rating out there. Do your research, talk to Laren, look at it, but you will know for a fact you can beat these knives up. They are made to be used. I've been working so hard on perfecting that AEBL heat treat over the years. I don't think I could personally get it any better than I already have it. Been making this for over 9 years now. I originally designed that knife to be a Chicago legal fixed blade because they got a blade length limit of 2.5 inches. And I don't know if you've ever gotten in trouble in Chicago. You do not want to get in trouble in Chicago.
All right, so still on the hunt for micro brands with purpose. I'm okay with the large production, folks that are doing stuff like that, but batch knives, pre-order knives, drops, I'm a fan of all that type of stuff, especially when that level of scarcity or wanting something that feels like it's been actually manipulated with one's hand. These knives from Dead Reckin are getting Grandpa excited. I'm a big fan of these knives so far, just the feel of them. I haven't cut anything with them, so this is not a review. So with that being said, I'm here with Bo. Bo's gonna kind of give me a rundown of their bestseller and kind of where they started, where they came from, and then we're gonna talk to the Marine that happened to make his way here as well.
All right, so I'm Bo, Dead Reckin Knives. We have some pretty nice American-made integrals that make out of Columbus, Ohio. Look down here, we have a nice titanium handle integral, you can see, with S45 blade steel. It's a button lock flipper that we have spent a lot of time perfecting, and we actually have a patent pending on that button design. So pretty cool stuff there. That is probably our hottest sell right here, is that SKU with our, call it the Warncleaver blade shape on this one here. Yeah, so we have a lot of things in the books that we're going to start working down here towards the rest of this year, where we're looking at composites, we're looking at possibly stabilized woods, maybe some epoxied handles. Who knows? We're going to get a little bit weird with it.
I got you.
So, Dead Reckin is a passion project.
Yeah.
Like we thought we came up with something really good, bringing American-made integral butt locks at a price point that's pretty hard to compete with, right? We looked at the way of, okay, how is everyone making knives? Everyone's making it a lot of the same ways. Okay, so if we're going to come out and start making a knife with the experience we have in manufacturing and just kind of adapting and overcoming, like, let's figure out a way to make an integral button lock at a price point that's affordable. So but the way by doing that is by making the process so automated and so precise that we can make these things, we can make 1,000 at a time.
All right, so I have Kevin here. I've been reviewing, you can stand still. I've been reviewing the tomtoc. This is the Voyager. This is their T50. Now, what do you think about the way it feels on the back?
Honestly, right now it feels really comfortable. I love how sleek the black looks.
Yeah.
Very minimal, very clean, very slick. Feels good. Even with there's a bunch of stuff in here, I can tell, but it doesn't feel any. I don't feel any discomfort on the shoulders, on the body. I think it feels good.
All right, so take it off, open it up. Let me know what you think about the interior. Just first impressions of the interior. You can put it on the deck, and let me know first impressions of the interior.
Wow, that is a really cool color. You mentioned blue, but I like that it's like a very dark, subtle blue.
Right.
I think it's really clean. I like that. I see the zippers feel really nice, really high quality.
Man in the streets. I guess it's a bag that might get us your seal. Now, how much you think a bag like that? All those grab handles, the blue interior. How much you think a bag like that costs?
Looks like it's clearly a high quality backpack. I'd say maybe hundreds, 200s maybe.
Okay. Yeah, the MSRP 209. It always has like a coupon that gets it under 200 bucks. All right. Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Leaving Blade Show, Texas. I'll give final thoughts once I get back to the man cave, but lots of stuff to see, lots of new products coming out. Appreciate tomtoc for sending out this bag for testing. Carried everything that I needed and then some. And it didn't look super tactical, didn't look out of place. So you're probably wondering, what did I acquire at Blade Show, Texas? And I must say, it was not that bad of a time. I was able to get a few things I was interested in, some things I didn't even know I was interested in. And, you know, this tomtoc Voyage T50 seemingly got the job done. So let's talk about this actual tomtoc Voyage T50 and why this actually got the job done pretty easily, not only at Blade, Texas, but the testing that was done prior to that. The outside of the bag, it's a 420D Cordura nylon material. If I'm mispronouncing any of this stuff, pound sand. It also has YKK zippers throughout. It has zinc all built in. The actual laptop part of the bag itself has AquaGuard zippers, so a little bit more weather protection for anything you decide to put in there. It's designed for a laptop, but you can put other stuff in there as well. The rest of the zippers don't have that same AquaGuard weather protection, but they still have the YKK zippers. They have pretty good grab handles. And just like I talked about the tech bag a few months ago, they carry that 45-degree diagonal design to the front. So overall impressions of this, bottom line up front, is this is a step in, I would say, the right direction for tomtoc when it comes to their bags and their materials. One thing that I can always say about tomtoc is that you're getting a banger of a deal for an affordable price, but you can always tell where they cut corners. I've talked about their sling bags where the color and the paint kind of fades away early, or it feels like they're using cheaper buckles, but it always just felt like a good deal. This feels like it's the same type of material, the same type of scenario, whereas they make another 20-liter bag. They have like, it's made of X-Pack, and it's around the same price, about $20 cheaper, but it kind of feels a little bit lacking compared to this. And I'm a big fan of the fact that you got these 3 grab handles. Although it does have the 3 grab handles, they are not as meaty or as fat as they seem to be. So they look like they're gonna be super fat and meaty. They're not, but they're still able to be grabbed from any direction, which I like. So it doesn't matter if the bag is on its side, you can grab it here. If it's on this other side, you can grab it there as well. Of course, we're always going to be, at least for me personally, always a big fan when you have water bottle pockets on the outside. Let's see if it can fit a Nalgene. All right, got a Nalgene bottle. Haven't even tested this out yet, but so you can stuff a Nalgene bottle in there like a burrito if you really need a Nalgene bottle in there. Obviously, if you can fit a Nalgene, most of your big old 40-ounce bottles should fit in there pretty easily. I didn't rock it with that, but to see that is pretty nice. Back of the bag has the pretty good shoulder straps. It doesn't have like air mesh, air webbing, or any of that type of stuff on there. It is missing a sternum strap. We'll talk more about that here in a second. And then the very front has just a very large zippered pocket that you can use for fast access to different items. That brings me to the first thing that I got at Blade, Texas. So I did get a mini pen from Big Idea Design. This is compatible with D1 refills. I've only owned one, which is their copper variant. I just wanted to check out some more stuff that they had. This is compatible with a D1 refill, just in case you want to get that. So let's see what we're working with. And one thing I will say, guys, if you go to any of these Blade shows, Blade Texas, Blade West, Blade Atlanta, always go with a budget in mind. Preferably bring the cash so you won't even overspend by mistake. Normal, nice packaging when it comes to a Big Idea Design type of there. You got a sticker, and then you got the mini pen itself. So very capable pen, super small. I like these things. I like to use it at my coffee mess. I like the fact that it includes a bead, and then they can give you some additional washers just in case the ones during the twist area began to wear down. These are reasonably priced. This is kind of get you, this is what I would say is a decent beginner starter everyday carry pen. If you're trying to journal more, if you buy any of like the little notebooks I'm always talking about, buying one of these kind of makes a lot of sense. Sticking to what's in the front of this pocket here. So this pocket itself, it's not lined. It just feels, it's not like lined with fur. First off, it does have like this key holder, a proper key holder. It's actually pretty good. Tomtoc has been improving these key holders lately. It's nice and long. So when it's outside the bag, you can easily use it. So if you take the bag off or swing the bag around, you can actually pull the key and stick it into a key knob or doorknob and not have any issues. So this inside area itself is pretty dark in there, but it does have, it includes 2 slip pockets, and you can put whatever you need to inside of there. Now this is almost a full clamshell opening. That brings us to the next item that we got from Blade Texas. Let's just see, when I say almost clamshell, it comes down, it stays at a little bit past 45. I have something in this front pocket, so it drags it even more. Even when there's something in there, it still doesn't fall over. The bag stands up on its own. I like that. So before we talk about what I got, there's a big old mesh pocket here with the zipper. Put inside of here whatever you need to. So I stopped by Devo Knives. We talked about that, so they gave me a microfiber cloth. I keep a battery bank in here to charge cameras and electronics and stuff like that. That's what I normally keep inside of there for this. I talked about the Voyage, the actual accessory kit, and I got this before I got the bag, and I am a huge fan of this actual kit for tech accessories. They bring those same design cues from the bag to this actual accessory pouch. Very, very good, reasonably priced as well. So it does have a dark blue interior, which one thing I will say about this interior is this is the main compartment where you can do, the very back technically is a laptop or a tablet holder. I guess you can put a smaller laptop in there if you have one. I have my cigar book back here because I did take this to a cigar lounge with me. So this pocket, this internal pocket that's on this bag shares space with the external water pocket. So I'm not a huge fan when bags do that, but it's a first world problem. So that brings me to the second item that we picked up at the show. This is from Crispy Donut Community. Their EDC Essentials box, nice, simple, easy to use. And inside of here, we're rocking the Hansen Tanto D2 Steel G10 scales, which I love me some G10 scales. And listen, guys, plenty of times I've talked about not being the biggest fan of anything from Crispy Donut, mainly because some of the blade coloring I find to be, it can be possibly be dangerous to give someone that's not a knife person. But this is not one of those blades. And I feel like, to be fair and to continue to criticize something, you got to try it out. Comes with stickers as well. And this is the actual knife. What I like about this, it gave me Civivi Elementum vibes, but it includes a thumb stud, which the new version 2 of the Civivi Elementum does include thumb studs. It does have the patterns of a donut, the sprinkles of a donut, but it's all white instead of the colorations of the donut patterns that you see. It does have a small lanyard hole here, a flipper. These G10 scales, they feel really, really good. I don't know who is the OEM for Crispy for this specific model, but it feels really good. It's really tight. I'm gonna have to work it out. So I used a flipper for now. But yeah, we'll definitely check this thing out. I'm excited to check it out. These are pretty reasonably priced. It has a reversible pocket clip. It's a unique talker. It looks pretty good. Has a liner lock. My first impressions of this is hands down, I really love the way these scales feel. They're gonna get dirty. They're gonna get super dirty. If anything like the white scales on my Benchmade, my mini Benchmade bug out, which is a Stormtrooper just like this, those scales are dirty. These scales are gonna get dirty, but it is what it is. When you use your knife, that's what happens. So, got a pen, got a knife, also got REs and stickers and stuff like that. I guess we'll talk about those as well. But the bag itself does have plenty of area inside of here for your throw crap. So I talked about that internal pocket where you can put stuff in there. This is the tablet holder area in the very back, or whatever you might want to put in the back. So not a full clamshell opening, but basically a clamshell. I think they were smart to put this little accordion style effect on the side of the bag. It kind of keeps the bag from totally toppling over, even if you have something in that front pocket. So this is a 3-in-1 design. The first area we talked about, the second area is the only area that has that hyper blue color. Or not even hyper blue, but that blue coloration. Then the very back of the bag is the laptop area. And the laptop area has 2 slip pockets. So you got 2 slip pockets here. That brings me to my third item. And then you have the laptop holder area. Here's the bonus about the laptop holder. It's floating and it's adjustable. So if you're carrying a smaller laptop, it's actual hooking, you can actually remove the Velcro, move the entire panel up and make it float even more. But it's designed, it's set right now to accommodate a 16-inch laptop. If you, right now in here, right now I have a 13-inch MacBook Air. It doesn't need as much room. If I wanted to, I could move that up, but I'm gonna leave it as is. And then technically you could stuff something in between the slip pockets and the actual laptop holder if you want to. But bring it around here, these 2 slip pockets, you could just throw something in here. It brings me to the last item. This is a Taccom. This is the Bulldog by Taccom. This is an OTF knife, which you know, normally I don't really mess with the OTFs. It comes with a pretty nice case. Taccom recently rebranded from Tac Knives. Tac Knives still exists, but Taccom is kind of like the more premium version of Tac Knives. This is OEM by OEM by Best Tech, and it is a fantastic filling. Now, of course, it doesn't have a lot of actuations. OTF knife. This has M390 blade steel on it. I like the fact that it's hard to misfire. If I try to use my actual index to push this out, I cannot get it to go. That gives me confidence that there's a low likelihood of misfire while it's in my pocket. The ramp on this is very nice and not to knurling or jipping on both sides. So it feels good to push forward and pull back with my thumb. very easily. It also has a safety feature on here where if it hits something, it won't fully deploy. So if I put this box in front of this thing like this, and so now it actually comes out, so it won't fully deploy and it won't puncture something, which is a good thing. So if I want to reset that, just completely shoot it out like it's a multi-tool or something like that, and then it's good to go. So I kind of like the way this thing feels in the hand. Finding out that Best Tech OEM this thing was great. It is way cheaper than a Microtech, way cheaper than a Kershaw, the Made in America Kershaw. Pretty nice little haul here when it comes to Blade Texas. I'll do a live stream, talk more about this stuff even more in depth, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for stuff like that. Let's talk about the cons of this bag real quick. So the bag itself, it has a little bit of discoloration. It might be hard to see, but you know, only 2 weeks of testing and like a little bit of discoloration, it probably would clean up pretty easily, but just something I wanted to show you. This bag itself broke in very easily, like extremely easily. 420D is not the most abrasive thing on your clothes, so you don't have to worry about this thing tearing your clothes apart. It does break in pretty easily, but if you want the break-in process to go faster, which I wanted it to do because I'm testing this bag out, I threw it in the dryer with a wet towel and a clean pair of sneakers. That's probably where I got those marks from those sneakers. Then the break-in process was even easier. This webbing in the back, this padding in the back could be a little bit more substantial. It's just not a lot there. But this is really a coffee shop, library, take to work, day trip type of bag. This is not designed for the stuff I would normally do, which is rucking. My biggest issue with this bag, and this is an issue that is important to me, it may not be important to you, is that not only does it not come with a chest, a sternum strap, there's not even an option to connect one on here. There's no webbing, there's nothing to connect the sternum strap. And when this is on your back, it does, depending on how you load this up, it can feel rear heavy. So depending on how much stuff you're gonna put in that secondary area, so the front area is here, and then the second area is that front zipper where I showed you the tablet area, it can ride higher on your shoulders. That will make it comfortable, but if you let it ride down on your shoulders, you can feel where you wish you had a chest strap. Now, to be fair, I have a $600 bag down here on the floor that does not include a chest strap. So for this bag to not have one, I guess that's okay, but that's just something to think about. Another thing I would say on this is that the MSRP on this thing is $209. Now, I'm thinking about what's offered in this, and it is a 420D fabric. The shoulder straps are pretty comfortable, but I can attach a chest cinch. Does include those outside water pockets. If this bag includes a coupon that can bring it down near 180, I can say that this would be more of a deal. I'm starting to compare this to bags such as Alpaca and Air, even TomToc's own offerings, and it is playing in that space when for a 20-liter bag. The fact that it has this triple grab handle design is chef kiss my favorite part. This diagonal design is something I'm really enjoying as well. And of course, I don't know, like so many of my bags that I have nowadays do not include outside water bottle holders, which is something that's important to me. Tripods, umbrellas, water bottles, etc. Final thing that I picked up at Blade Texas, of course, everywhere you go, you get tons of REs at these companies. Of course, we got a little bit of REs from everyone. Ox Manufacturing came through with theirs, and another one from Ox. Yeah, so just some nice little options, and knives rule everything around me. I like that cream logo. It looks like the Dare logo. My final recommendation for this bag is that if you like the way this thing looks, like if I was just going off looks alone, I think the bag looks incredible, especially for work, for day trips. It blends in everywhere. And if you already are kind of in this line with tomtoc, because they also sell a laptop sleeve, which I don't have with me, and you are impressed with the weather protection for the laptop, and you can get this thing below $200, especially if I'm comparing this to some of its competitors. This is a go for me. But at MSRP at $209, and with the issues with the chest strap, for me personally, I wouldn't pay the $209. But that's just something that you have to make the consideration for. If I can get it lower than that, this is something that I would pick up if I wanted to have something just for everyday carry, especially this quick grab handle. And then one of the key features also in the very back here is that you can run this through your luggage and slip this over your luggage. So if that's something that's important to you as well, then you might want to pick this thing up. So let me know what your comments down below. Blade, Texas, are you going to Blade Atlanta? Did you go to Blade, Texas? What do you think about this bag? Shout out to tomtoc for sponsoring this video again. And what do you think about my pickups? Did I freaking miss or did I hit? I would love to know what your comments down below. Hit that subscribe button, join the battalion. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.